The town slept under a blanket of cold, silent snow, unaware of the darkness creeping between the shadows. One life was about to change forever, a life full of promise, ambition, and dreams. The night felt still, almost deceivingly calm, as if it were holding its breath, waiting for the storm to arrive. Somewhere in the distance, a presence watched quietly, unnoticed, patient, and relentless. Little did anyone know, the ordinary streets were about to witness an extraordinary act of obsession, one that would shake the foundations of everything familiar. Inside her sanctuary, Ariel worked tirelessly. Her life was a symphony of colors, ambition, and quiet determination. Every brushstroke reflected her dreams, every note of effort a step toward the future she envisioned. Yet even in this cocoon of safety, a silent threat loomed, a shadow she could not see. In her world of light and creativity, danger had already begun to whisper, hiding in the corners of the room, patient, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Somewhere in the night, he waited. Patient, calculating, his mind twisted by obsession and rejection. To him, the world had denied him, and he had chosen his own form of justice. Watching, waiting, imagining a confrontation that existed only in his mind, he moved closer, unaware that each step was being traced, each decision leaving an invisible trail that would soon unravel him. A simple phone, dropped in panic, became a silent witness. Its screen bore the imprint of desperation, its position telling the story of a struggle no one heard. In its cracks lay traces of fear, the last moments of a life interrupted. For investigators, it would become a key piece of evidence, a frozen fragment of the final seconds that held the truth within its shattered frame. By dawn, the streets of Larkspur Heights were transformed. Yellow tape and flashing lights sliced through the calm, announcing a violation of the ordinary, the intrusion of chaos into a town that never imagined such darkness. The scene was silent but spoke volumes, telling the story of obsession, of a life taken too soon, and a community forced to confront a nightmare it never expected. Inside, silence hung heavy. Each step, each shadow whispered the events of a night gone wrong. The house, usually a haven, had become a witness to violence, a record of fear and sudden tragedy. For the first time, the ordinary felt fragile, the familiar warped by the presence of an unseen danger that had crossed every line and left nothing untouched. A single glove, discarded, held more truth than anyone had yet imagined. Tiny traces of evidence revealed an act meticulously carried out yet hastily abandoned. Each fiber, each smudge, told the tale of obsession and the lengths someone would go to. In its quiet testimony lay the path investigators would follow, unraveling the choices that led to irreversible destruction. The vehicle waited silently, as if it too held its breath. It had carried more than a man, it had transported obsession, frustration, and a distorted sense of justice. Shadows clung to its frame, hinting at the hidden presence that had set into motion events destined to haunt an entire town. Every tire mark, every movement was a step toward tragedy. Digital admiration twisted into dangerous fixation. Each bookmarked page, each scroll through her life became another step in a narrative only he wrote. To him, her success was personal, a slight to be corrected. Yet these virtual traces left behind were as revealing as fingerprints, silently mapping the descent from admiration to deadly obsession. Forensic eyes documented every detail. The floor, the walls, the faint traces invisible to ordinary sight, all pieces of a story told in silence. Each photograph became a witness, each marker a reminder that even in death, evidence speaks louder than fear. Slowly, methodically, the story of the night unfolded, revealing the calculated steps that led to tragedy. Outside the town, the marshes reflected the moonlight, serene and deceptive. Here, the air was thick with mist, masking movements and secrets alike. It was in places like this, away from prying eyes, that obsessions lingered, plotting, calculating, and waiting for the perfect moment. The calm of nature belied the storm brewing in human hearts. He moved quietly, purpose etched into every step. Each motion was measured yet frantic, a reflection of a mind fraying at the edges. The night became a canvas for his delusion, the shadows stretching long as he carried with him the weight of his obsession. Unseen, unchallenged, he became a predator in the fabric of an ordinary evening. Chaos leaves traces, even where it seems impossible. A moment of struggle, a drop of spilled coffee, a scattering of brushes, small details that captured a violent intrusion into a world built on precision. For investigators, these subtle disruptions would speak volumes, revealing the abrupt collision of life and obsession. The snow-erased footsteps muffled the world and offered a deceptive cover. Tracks vanished, stories blurred, and the night held its secret tightly. Yet beneath the pristine white, evidence remained, waiting for the patient eyes of those who would uncover the truth hidden in silence. Each item told a story: choices, preparation, desperation. The duffel bag, gloves, and discarded belongings became pieces of a puzzle that, once assembled, revealed a chilling pattern. These objects bore silent witness to the intent behind the violence, the meticulous care, and the recklessness entwined in a single night of obsession. As morning broke, the town awoke to the unthinkable. The familiar streets felt alien, haunted by the events that had transpired. Residents whispered in disbelief, realizing that safety was fragile, and that darkness often hides behind the ordinary, waiting for the unsuspecting to walk into its path. Dates and deadlines told a story beyond schedules. Each mark, each circle, represented moments observed, planned, and anticipated. In the hands of the wrong person, even ordinary reminders became instruments of obsession, steps toward a night that would shatter normalcy and leave a trail of irreversible consequences. Above the city, light sparkled like distant hope, but the edges held shadow. It was there, in the quiet peripheries, that the ordinary intersected with the dangerous. The night carried both dreams and dread, intertwining them until only the consequences of human obsession remained visible in the morning. Even the smallest details mattered. A doorknob held more than metal, it held traces of intent, of presence, of a night that changed everything. Through meticulous work, investigators transformed the silent witnesses into a narrative, revealing the cold, calculated movements behind a moment of irreversible violence. Footprints faded into the mist, but they told a story of movement, hesitation, and finality. Each step marked the path of obsession, leaving a trail that only patient eyes would follow. The night, though silent, whispered secrets to those who sought the truth hidden in shadow. Her ambitions, her future, her life's work, they were frozen on a screen, a testimony to dreams interrupted. Each highlight, each note, became part of the narrative investigators pieced together, a portrait of a life full of potential cut short by a darkness that had lurked unnoticed until it struck. The pursuit ended in stillness. A man whose obsession had spiraled into tragedy was finally contained. The handcuffs symbolized more than restraint, they marked accountability, a moment where the chaos of obsession collided with the law, and the story began to move toward justice. The town mourned, remembering the life that had been stolen. Each candle flickered with memory, each flower a testament to love, admiration, and grief. While justice sought to mend what had been broken, the community carried the weight of loss, honoring the brilliance that was extinguished too soon. Inside the courtroom, truth and consequence awaited. Evidence meticulously gathered was about to meet judgment, and a town watched as accountability unfolded. The room held tension, reflection, and the unspoken understanding that one night of obsession had ripple effects far beyond the immediate tragedy. As the sun rose, Larkspur Heights began to heal. Life moved forward, fragile yet resilient. Memories endured, lessons were learned, and hope flickered through the shadows of the past. The story, though tragic, left a legacy reminding the world that even in darkness, vigilance, courage, and the pursuit of truth can illuminate the path ahead.